Kathy. I was going to type this up and I thought, no, let me do it as a video post so I don't have to do a lot of typing because this might end up being a little bit long. But I just got back from the Shining Academy retreat day in Denver. I'm posting this a little bit after the fact, but it happened on Thursday, September 24th. I took a vacation day off of work to go to this retreat day. And the day before, I was a little bit anxious. I think that was just ego because I knew something was going to shift during the retreat day, and your ego never wants change. Your ego wants things to be predictable and safe and blah, blah, blah. So the night before, I was a little bit nervous about it. Then the morning of, I just took a deep breath and I said, you know, I'm going to learn some stuff today. Something's going to shift, and I just need to be open to what it is and then just take it one step at a time. So don't let myself get overwhelmed. It was up in Lakewood, so I drove up to Lakewood. One of the things, as I was packing my bag to get ready for this retreat day, something told me to bring my tarot deck. And at first I was like, well, I don't know why I would need it unless there's like open journaling time and maybe I feel like pulling a card. I was like, I don't know what the agenda is going to be. But I just felt like, no, you just bring your deck. I was like, okay. So I put it in my bag. Then as I was walking into the venue, I saw another woman carrying a box, and the box obviously had some goodies in it. And I was like, damn it, why didn't I bring some goodies? Like, I could have made a funny little doodle or like a meme type, like my own kind of meme, like doodle with some inspirational words on it and a cute picture, like a doodle, and then my website at the bottom. And that way it would be a little gift for everybody, and it would have my contact information on it if anybody resonated with it. And of course, I didn't think about this until I see this other woman carrying a box of goodies. Turns out she has a sweets catering thing, and so she had a little bag of goodies for everybody, and it was really delightful. So I was kicking myself for not thinking of this in advance, like, why didn't I bring something I could share with people? And then the little voice said, you brought your tarot cards. I was like, oh. So before the lunch break, I raised my hand and I said, if anybody's interested, I brought my tarot cards. I could do some short 3-card readings. I can set up, you know, come approach me during the lunch break. And everybody was like, oh, that's so awesome. And I was like, good. Like, thank you for telling me to bring my tarot cards. So after everybody ate and after I got some headshots done for free because it was part of the event, I had a picnic blanket in my car. I set it up under a tree. It was a beautiful day, and I put my cards down and some ladies started coming over. And I think I ended up doing 5 short readings, and they all got something out of it. And one woman in particular, so as I'm doing tarot readings, obviously I've studied the cards a lot. I've been doing this since like 1992 or something ridiculous. And I know the cards. I know what the cards mean. But then I'm also getting intuitive information to sort of tailor it to the person I'm reading for. So I'll say, typically this card means blah, blah, blah. And for you, I feel called to say da, da, da. And sometimes I'll get this little voice again saying, say such and such. And sometimes it relates to the cards that I have in front of me. Sometimes it's completely a tangent that I normally wouldn't have gotten from the cards in front of me. And so one woman in particular, after I interpret the cards, I'll typically ask, did you get what you needed, or do you want me to elaborate on any of this? And the woman said, I don't think I have any questions unless there's something else you want to add. And I said, oh, let me check. And so I just sat for a second and I said, well, actually for this card, I feel like I need to tell you there's a woman that's going to be helping you, and it's like a mentor, but not necessarily like face-to-face, maybe like a spiritual mentor or like somehow inspiring you, or someone like a book that you read or something, who's going to be helping you with this decision that you need to make. I'm like, does that make sense? She's like, I know exactly what you're talking about. I'm just like, oh, wow. And she's like, yeah, I know the woman you're talking about, and I'm going to tell her you said this, and she's going to laugh. And I'm like, that's wonderful. Like, that's excellent. Like, because I'm still practicing with this voice, because this is intuitive information that I'm getting, like, claircognizantly, that I'm looking at the card, and I'm like, the card says one thing, but then I'm getting extra stuff, and I'm still getting used to receiving that. And it's every time it happens, like, every time I get the information, I'm like, I almost apologize for it. Like, I think I need to add, like, I almost make it conditional. But every time I do it, somebody says, oh, I know exactly what you're talking about. Like, that makes perfect sense. And I'm just like, okay, thanks. Like, I just have to say thank you and trust it. Like, every time it happens, I put a little step of more trust in it. So I don't, at this point, it's happened so often that I don't know why I even hesitate. And now that she had to ask me, is there anything else you want to add? And then I had to pause and say, actually, yes. So now that's going to be part of my reading. And so I had this voice tell me to bring my tarot cards. I had the inspiration to offer. So I'm gifting my tarot reading skills to these women, but I received a gift too, and more confidence in, I'm going to get verklempt, more confidence in my reading, more experience in my reading. So that's just further confirmation that this is one of the things I'm supposed to be doing. Like, I'm helping other people, and helping them is helping me too. So that was one of the excellent things that happened today. Another, since that was not exact, that was the space of the workshop and not the workshop itself, let me talk about that a little bit. And I'm sorry I have to be a little vague about this because it's something new that Leonie is going to be presenting, and I'm not sure if it's going to be just for Academy members or if it's going to be like on her public blog. So I don't know what level of detail I'm allowed to talk about this in because we got a preview of it today. So I apologize for being vague, but it was so incredibly helpful for me. So it's basically sort of a phases of business building. And in the workbook that we got, there's this illustration without much detail, but the illustration alone clicked like 5 different things for me. It was like a map of where I am in my business, where I've been, where I'm going, just the illustration. And I was like, oh my God, this illustration alone was worth me taking a vacation day from work and driving all the way up to Lakewood and sitting in a room with all these people for the whole day, like just the illustration. And then in the afternoon, we were talking about, what it means and expanding on it. And I think everybody felt the same way, that this is amazing. It's so helpful for building a business. And it's like, I've been trying to launch my coaching business for I think 2 years now. And like, how have I been doing any of it without this illustration? Like, just the illustration. And it's a template for business building, but it clicked like dominoes, a few other things that I've been struggling with that I thought, like, I knew they had something in common, but I didn't realize how tied they were together. That it's like in Super Mario World or whatever, when you have to beat the Koopa King, or I'm forgetting what the dude's names are, Bowser, where you have to beat Bowser, like where you're going and you can get to the castle, you have to go all over these obstacles, you get to the castle, and you have to defeat Bowser, and then you go into a new world and you defeat more monsters, and then you get to Bowser again. I'm stuck on one Bowser level, and it's like I missed a key or something. Like, when you're playing the game, sometimes there are things you have to pick up or whatever. Like, this illustration was like the map of the world of the Mario Brothers. I was like, oh, I'm on this level, and these are the things I need to do to get to the next level. And it was like getting hacked, like this illustration. I'm just like, oh my God, it's so helpful. So in the blog link to this video, I'm going to have an affiliate link to the Shining Academy if you're interested, if you do business, if you're trying to build a business, especially a heart-centered business. It just blew my mind. It was crazy. So obviously I endorse it. And if you would like to join the Academy, it's a membership fee, and you get access to basically everything that Leonie Dawson does, including the new stuff, and occasionally a retreat like this. So if you click through my affiliate link, obviously I get a bonus for that. So I will have that posted. But that was just incredible. And then I've learned from listening to Hay House that now when I'm in a space where I'm like, sorry, I need to wipe my nose because I was getting verklempt. I need to stop this. From listening to Hay House, I haven't been able to listen regularly this year because just life has been getting busy. But I'm so used to getting insights listening to Hay House just from the hosts and the callers and the information that they're providing, that it's like my mind is open to receive all this information, so that sometimes I get intuitive stuff that has nothing to do with the Hay House stuff, but it's still really useful information. And so that was happening again today. I was keeping notes from the class on one side of my page, and then on the back of another page, I was writing these download things that I'm getting. And I had some really interesting personal insights that I'm sure I'll talk about more on the blog. Since this video is already over 10 minutes, I won't get into it too much here, just for your respecting your time, because I'm really excited. I can probably talk about this a lot longer, just because the high of the afternoon, like, it was a really good day. And it has to do with, like, the name of my company is Exploring Your Depths. And I've been kind of, like, the concept of depths has been something that I'm being more and more aware of in my own life, and how important that is for me personally. And so that I happened to name my company that. Like, it wasn't an accident, but it wasn't conscious on my part for this other stuff that I'm learning personally. And it just, like I was saying about dominoes falling into place, like, that was happening with me, and just the theme of depths and going deeper, and just jumping into things. Like, I'm not ready to jump around a lot right now, because I'm a Cappadocia and we don't do a lot of jumping. But so that was another insight that I had. And so this was, we started around 9 o'clock and went to about 5 o'clock, so it was a full day, but it was a really excellent day, and the timing for me was really good. Again, I'm posting this a couple weeks after the fact, but next week on September 30th is my birthday, and I usually do my annual review in line with my birthday rather than the beginning of a new calendar year. And so this was the perfect pattern interrupt that I've been needing all year, really. Like, it's been kind of a frustrating year. I posted about my year in review the other week, and when I wrote that post, it was like you could see smoke coming out of my ears. Like, it was really frustrating. It wasn't a positive experience, because it's just been a frustrating year. And so to have this retreat right before my birthday was the absolute pattern interrupt that I needed to say, okay, clean slate. The frustration was yesterday. Now I'm taking the Friday off. So today the retreat was on a Thursday. I'm taking Friday off as well to work on implementing some of the stuff that I learned, which I did in advance. I've said, well, it's going to be, if I don't want to go back to work for one day on a Friday, I might as well just take 2 days off. And now my head is just buzzing with plans and, like, this map that I have now. Like, I know what I need to do next. And it was just like the frustration and the overwhelm and all the stuff that I've been struggling with for like a year, like, was wiped clean from this one day. And I'm going to try not to get verklempt again and wrap this up. But I have like 8 pages of notes that I'm going to sift through. I'm sure there's going to be blog posts from some of my insights. And I'm so grateful for Leonie Dawson and her buddy Grant, who was our facilitator today, and just all the women that were there holding the space and learning from each other and sharing with each other. And it's just been a really good day. And I hope that whatever path you're on, that you find a community like this to support you and people to inspire you and to clear the shit off. Like, I knew it was going to be a transformational day, but I had no idea. And I know that's part of the high of the workshop and the retreat space. Like, it's really just sublime, like being in retreat. And I know that some of my frustration was like getting back to core self-care habits. Like, that's going to be a piece going forward in my new year. But I just feel like the one day I have new tools. And it's like some analogy about trying to hammer a nail with a toothbrush, or I don't know what the analogy is, just having the right tool for the job. Like, I've been struggling with building my coaching business because I didn't even know what tool I needed. And there's so much resources and information out there that's like, oh, try this and try this. It's like, it's overwhelming, which is part of the overwhelm that I've been struggling with. And just this retreat today, this one illustration, I'm like, oh, I get it now. Like, I know what I need to do. So I'm just brimming over with gratitude. And whenever my heart chakra opens, I talked about this before, whenever my heart chakra opens, I cry. It's a little embarrassing, but it is what it is. So If you made it this far, I know I'm passing 15 minutes. I'm sorry to take up so much of your time. If you made it this far, I really appreciate you watching. I appreciate your support and your friendship. And you'll be hearing more about all this stuff in future blog posts and newsletters. So if you'd like to sign up for my newsletter, you'll get all the information right in your inbox. And I'll be talking to you again soon. Thanks for watching. Bye.